Alrighty, welcome everybody. Full house. Thanks for coming out tonight. July 14th Sumter City Council meeting. We start all of our meetings with a moment of silence, invocation, and pledge of allegiance. Tonight will be led by Councilman Gifford Shaw. All that are able, please rise.
Our gracious God and Father, we are coming to you as we start this meeting confessing, Lord, that we need you. We are so grateful for all that you've done for our community. We pray that you would lead us and help us to look after the community as a whole. We pray, Father, that you would be with those communities that are suffering from floods in Texas. I pray especially for the Kerrville community that you would be with them. That you would comfort those that have lost loved ones. We are grateful for our first responders. We thank you for them. We pray that you protect them. We thank you, Father, for those in our community that fight the crime and protect us. We pray that you would help us, we pray. Really work to solve some of the crime problems in our community. Be with us during this meeting. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. We have our minutes from June 17th. That was our last regular meeting, June 17th. Minutes. Any changes need to be made, or is there a motion to approve as written?
Second motion.
Casey moves, Blasingame seconds. If we approve as written, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And June 17th meeting minutes carry unanimous. Before we get into our regular business, we do have a special presentation tonight. Mr. McCormick or Mr. Fake, or we got, I know.
Yeah, we'll ask Lefter Fake.
I know we get updates. It's been a little while, so I don't know if you remember how long it's been. Periodic time flies. So.
It is, and as I get more gray on my beard, it seems like it goes a little bit faster.
Absolutely.
We're going to have Coach Jay talk to us a little bit about updates on the South Sumter Gym, some of the programs that we've got going on for just about 3 years now, doing an outstanding job. So if you would allow that, we would appreciate it.
Absolutely. Coach Jay.
Coach Jay.
Mayor Hall, thank you. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Coach Jay. As Lefter Fake has said, that we've been doing this for a few years now, since 2023. First off, our hours of operation of the gym are from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And we open up on one Saturday a month from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for young adults and for the youth to come in and play ball or whatever they want to do. So please get the word out for me, okay? Starting with our youth programs, some of the things that we've done this year in conjunction with what we've been doing since 2023, we've partnered with USTA, which is the United States Tennis Association, and so we are now the pilot program for that particular sport with that particular association to come in and teach our underserved youth the game of tennis and to introduce them to a game that they may not otherwise be introduced to. And that's been going on since last month, and we have our last workout next week. It's a 6-week session. In addition to that, we have basketball training, all different kinds of training. Basketball training, softball training for kids that would like to increase their skills in whatever sport that they like to play. Our after-school program is the biggest program for our kids during the school year. It's from 2:30 to 6 p.m. We do provide transportation. It is a free program for the kids that live in the Southside neighborhood area within 3 miles outside of the gym. For school year, we have the summer program, the spring program, the winter program, which is Christmas, and then Thanksgiving program, which were open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, although our regular business hours are from 12 to 6, we open up early so that parents that are working, we can accommodate their schedule, okay? For our after-school program, we help them with their homework. We provide reading assistance, which their grades have increased over the time that they've been with us. Their reading has improved. We're also offering reading during the summertime for the kids so that they don't lose any of the reading skills that they have and maybe increase some of the reading skills that they don't have, right? Senior programs, we started out with the youth, but you know what, everybody needs something and somewhere to go. So for our senior programs, we're now going from Monday through Friday with exercise classes. We started out with just 3 classes, but we've added some classes. And some of the classes, we started out with the low impact aerobics, but the classes that I've added are the stretch class, the low impact step class, which is a lot of fun. Every month we have a potluck for us to just sit and fellowship. So we bring in the last Friday of every month, we eat together and we fellowship. We've added 2 line dance classes a month where we have somebody come in and teach them line dances, so everybody enjoys that. It's just, the senior program has actually become a family, just like a family. Internship programs, we have college internship program, and we also have a high school program, which we were able to this year be a part of the city co-op summer program for high schoolers. So we did hire 3 of our high school students to come in and give them an opportunity to not only work, but to learn responsibility and what it takes to be at a real job. And they did a fantastic job, they're doing a fantastic job. We had one from Sumter Academy, one from Manning High School, and one from Sumter High School. So we're very pleased and fortunate that we had them to help us out. And we've been doing that since we started. We've had college interns from Allen University, a lot from Morris College, and then one from Columbia University as well in the past. I offer CPR classes. If anybody needs to get CPR certified, I do offer those. We're having one this Saturday if anybody needs to register. And it goes from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.-ish, depending upon how quickly we learn how to do the hands-on, okay? We've, Tai Chi, we've added a Tai Chi class every Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. And so that targets not only our youth, but our seniors and everybody in between. Great exercise for the mind, the body, and all those achy bones and muscles that you can't do all the hard stuff with. Line Dance Tuesdays, we started out actually partnering with Alice Drive Middle School cheer team that we were doing twice a month, but now we're gonna go ahead and do it every Tuesday so that those who would like to come in, and that's in the evenings, that's after business hours, but we're gonna be there for them. And as far as events for our kids, our youth, every quarter, we celebrate their birthdays. We try to make them feel special. When our kids come into our gym for our after-school program or anytime, we want them to feel loved, right? We want them to feel loved. We want to fill the gap between school, home, and when they come to us. And so I do work very closely with their teachers at school, and I work closely with the parents that would like us to work closely with them to make things happen. Animal Therapy Day, every now and then I'll bring a dog in so that they can learn how to train the dog, pet the dog, love on the dog, see how the dog will love them back. And it has really been very therapeutic for some of my kids that have had some anger issues. It really calmed them and it helped them just learn how to be within themselves, right? Some of our partnerships and memberships for this year, just this year, starting in January, we've been with Sandhills Medical Foundation. They come in and teach our kids about body safety and different things to teach them how to be safe, right, on top of what we teach them there. I already mentioned Alice Drive cheer team, and volleyball team, Durant Children's Home, we partnered with them and did some events. Iron Legacy Motorcycle Club, who is now, I believe, on the south side over there near Boulevard. I think their office is on Boulevard Avenue. And of course, the USTA. Optimist Club, we've always been in partnership with them. So we have some support coming in, and we're able to do some great things when we're working together. Our advisory board members, if anybody cares to know, we have retired Colonel William Oden, Air Force, retired Chief Master Sergeant Donald Beard, Air Force, Marlissa Morton, who is a teacher in the Sumter School District, John Hoffman, who used to be the former CEO of the YMCA, and Ernest Atkinson, who is one of our local DJs who I've been partnering with, probably about 4 or 5 years now. So that kind of wraps it up of what we've been doing. Each year we've been increasing our numbers as far as participation. The more classes that we add, the more volunteers that we can get that would like to come in and say, hey, you know what? I've been looking for a piano teacher for 2 years. Who's gonna teach? Come on in. My kids wanna learn. We have a piano in the gym. And so these are the types of things that we do at the gym, is to offer our kids something that they may not see otherwise, and to make sure that we're providing them the education that they need after school, the life skills that they need throughout, and just a place to come that's gonna be safe for them. Since 2023, we started out about over 4,500 over the course of the year patrons, and we increased it a couple hundred more last year, and right now we're at a little over 3,000, and we're just half the year. So the more people get to know us and know what we're doing and what we have to offer, the more people are coming in. And so I welcome all of y'all to come by, take a peek, come check out our programs, and maybe enroll in some. Okay?
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Before you go, I just want to let council know, probably I just saw it before there, so there's information in the packets, in your folders.
Yes.
It's
Thank
got
you.
some of this in there. I guess what is interesting, Coach, real quick before you go.
Yes, sir.
Council may have a question for you or two, but just, it's interesting to see, obviously, looking at the June number, 600 monthly, average 150 a week, that makes sense, schools, out, right? But
Yes.
then I guess I flip back to, February, and you're at 424, so kind of in a cold, dreary month. I mean, it's still, your numbers are pretty solid. It seems like,
Yes.
obviously the word's getting out in the summer, when the kids are out, obviously, it's a more place to go. So I
And it
appreciate it.
fluctuates too as people move in and move out
Right.
as well. But yes, sir.
Here are a couple things that, that interested me. One, I guess the piano is in the inside gym and not the gymatorium
Well,
outside.
it's on the inside, yes. It's in the building.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, I'd love to maybe get my wife in touch with the animal therapy day, because she loves animals.
Okay, all right.
And, I've enjoyed taking my father by the new facilities there in the art park, and just showing him all the things, that the changes in Manning Avenue, and, just thank you, I think we spent $3.5 million, investment there, and it looks like it's paying off, and you get much participation in pickleball yet, or?
Pickleball we're not into yet. We're doing the USTA they call it red ball for the youth, which they also have for seniors, and it's kind of like pickleball because the net is a little bit lower. So we're venturing off into that and trying to get these programs, this particular program, up and running and strong, so that we can go ahead and start building into adults and seniors, and then take them out on the pickleball courts out there.
I did talk to somebody from Hampton Street, and they said they went out there to play pickleball because you can't get on the courts over there behind Dallas Drive. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, if I may, let me speak on pickleball, because we have a pickleball court, it's being used every week out there, so we have a pickleball court, and when the weather's hot like it is now, we have 2 portable pickleball courts that we play under the air gymnasium. So there's a difference between her program, which is in the gym, and the air gymnasium, which is outside. She doesn't run that program outside, is that correct?
No, sir, I don't. It's totally separate, yes.
It's totally separate, so that's a totally separate program. And my question is, how many children from the region that live in that area are in your program?
Right now, in the USTA program,
Any program you got?
in any program, we're averaging 20 students enrolled in our after-school program, and it fluctuates during the summertime or any given program.
20 students from that area is my question now.
Out of that area, it's probably about 16. We only have a handful that come from outside of the Southside area.
And as a council member, of course, I'm very much concerned about, and Pastor Blasey again, want to make sure that the kids living in that area, I'm glad what you expressed tonight, is free.
It's free, yes, sir.
It's free, so we have no reason not to participate in the program, because it's free, it doesn't cost them any money.
Doesn't cost them anything. Nope.
That's a good point.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank you,
it.
thank you for having me.
So, That's right. So I think I'll let her get up. So before we've got a special presentation, so before we get into our business, Councilman Hasty does have another just acknowledgement, I guess, a special
Just an
acknowledgement.
announcement, talking about our programs in the park, I want to recognize Amy James, who's here. Amy, will you please stand? Will you have any of your students to stand with your basketball team members? You all please stand, everybody. All please stand. She had one of the largest tournaments I've ever seen outside, Mr. Mayor. It was in the park, the art park. I just went by there, I lived across the street. I said, what are all these people doing out here? They were having basketball tournaments, kids from all over the country. And she took some of these young girls to Dawn Stater's basketball camp a few weeks ago. So she's doing a lot for us in the park, the park together with Amy as well, on programs in the park. She will speak on that. She's signing up a little ago, but I want to make sure I introduce some of these children just in case they have to leave before they get to the important part of the meeting.
Thank you for being here. Absolutely, like Councilman Hasty said, it takes everyone, communities, faith, churches, other organizations, city council, county council, but Team Sumter, as we talk, everybody pulling together to make Sumter a great place. So, one other point of note before we get into our business, we do have a public hearing at 6 p.m. Y'all heard me say that before, so it's 5:47 now, so we'll roll into some old business. But at 6 p.m. we'll have a public hearing, have a hard stop. Then wherever we were on our agenda, we'll pick back up. So that's different than the public comment section. That's a public hearing on a potential rezoning. So getting into old business, boards, commissions, I don't have anything that I'm aware of. CC or Linda or staff, unless the council has, I don't have anything new on that. We kind of changed and revamped how we discuss that. So.
Okay, also nothing else,
That's right.
nothing new on board.
Anybody have anything to add? Hearing none, moving on to RZ 2506, 1771 Airport Road. Ms. Ruby?
There have been no changes to this request since first reading, and continue to recommend approval.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions for Ms. Ruby? Hearing none, is there a motion to consider final reading?
Make motion for approval.
Shaw moves, Kennedy seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show final reading of ordinance 2883 carries unanimous. Thank you, ma'am. Item number 4, transfer of property. Consider final reading of ordinance 2885. Is that, any change to that, Mr. McCormick or Mr. Owens?
No changes at all.
Is there a motion to consider final reading?
Make motion for approval. Second.
Shaw moves, Gibson seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the record show that 2885 carries unanimous, transferring property to South Carolina ETV. We had a final reading on item number 5, which was withdrawn from our agenda, so there will be no action on our item 5 on our agenda. Item number 6, new business, reimbursement resolution 990. Is that Mr. Fletcher?
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 990 represents a declaration of our intent to reimburse ourselves with capital lease proceeds that we entered into an agreement for now later on in the fiscal year, but we may incur some of the costs prior to that capital equipment, all of which has been in the budget that you adopted last month. We do this every year. It's to help stay compliant with Irish taxes and obligations.
So just for sake of in the public, we've got a good crowd. Just what type of, what kind of items? I know it's in here, but
So
just.
larger capital equipment like fire department equipment, sanitation trucks, garbage trucks, side loaders. This one, in particular, we have a dump truck as well, a shovel truck, a John Deere articulated loader.
Just that kind of equipment, rolling stock. Yes, sir, Mr. Hasty.
Since we have so many guests, and when we talk about reimbursing ourselves, it may sound a little funny or something.
Sure. So,
Can you explain why we're doing that?
that means, we may go ahead and buy some of this equipment up front and then enter into a capital lease agreement later on in the fiscal use the proceeds from to repurpose. Sorry.
Any other questions for John? Hearing none, is there a motion to consider resolution 990 as presented?
Move for approval.
Hasty moves, Davis seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Your record show it carries unanimous. Thank you, sir. Item number 7 on our agenda, transfer of property. Consider first reading of ordinance to approve the transfer of property. Mr. Crowe.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, this item is one of the steps in the process of the rehabilitation and renovation and redevelopment of the Opera House and the adjoining building. This ordinance follows up on a resolution we passed in June authorizing application to the abandoned building tax credit program that the state has. This ordinance transfers title of the next door building to the Sumter Opera House LLC, which then will own it and obtain funds for, as part of its rehabilitation. So this is an ordinance required by state law whenever the city desires to transfer ownership of real property.
Thanks, sir. Any questions for Mr. Crowe?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, when you say transfer the property to the Sumter Opera House LLC, do we have control over the LLC?
Yes, sir.
City, so we still have control?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
This is to take advantage of a significant number of, I guess, a dollar value for tax credit purposes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, any other questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to consider first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Kennedy moves, Hastings seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And first reading carries unanimous. Thank you, sir. Item 8, we have 4 procurement resolutions. Mr. Gannon?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, this first request is for a long time coming project, the stormwater improvement project for the Croswell neighborhood, phase 1, is the way it's titled here. This project goes back, really the funding as a result of the 15 flood. Design started in 2018, so it's been a long time process and lots of steps in between. But we had a bid opening on February the 6th, and we had 6 bids, and we had some steps to take in between there, so there's a little delay there. But the lowest qualified bidder is Dig and Deep Construction. We had a lower bidder, but did not meet the licensing requirements. So Dig and Deep was our lowest qualified bidder. And that total bid was $1,474,010. And we do recommend going under contract with Dig and Deep Construction to complete this project. Be glad to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, sir. Same thing, it's always nice to have a big crowd. Just a little bit of a scope of the job, I guess, a brief.
So, the Croswell neighborhood, which are DOT state-owned streets, so the city took on the project, because drainage has been obviously been a problem in that area, as a result of 15 flood highlighted it, but that drainage issues have been long, issue there before. Took advantage of the funding to come in, and you're upsizing some existing piping and also adding some piping in the, it's about 4,000 feet of piping all in all, from 18-inch to 42-inch pipe, various in that area shown up on that map. Again, this is phase 1 of a 4-phase project. And this particular one is through a FEMA grant, is how we're funding it, partial city funds, but partial FEMA grant. The other 3 phases are through Department of Resiliency that we're in design as well. So the idea is to get the larger lines in first, and then you'll come in and fill in as we go in the next couple phases. This being, of course, the initial larger phase, if you will, for as far as piping size goes. But
Where's that eventually drain to?
it all ends up back in Turkey Creek and then gets back out to the hotel eventually. And that area is a low area, so drainage is and to be completely honest, it won't solve all drainage problems, but it's a real positive step in the right direction as in this particular neighborhood.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Gaines?
Mr. Mayor, just a comment, Mike, as you know, this has been a tremendous problem in that area for a long time. When it rains, and it's been raining a lot now. The flooding, some of the streets like Bowman Drive, they are completely covered with water.
Right.
And many other streets, so, and this is just phase one of how many phases?
Four total phases, right?
That should make a tremendous difference in that area.
Correct.
Thank you for that.
And just as a clarification, DOT, once the project's complete, DOT will take over maintenance of it through an agreement. So we're completing the project on, in essence, on their behalf, and eventually they'll take over the maintenance. So it's a DOT drainage and roads, but, trying to help solve the problem.
So you saying don't call you when we have problems?
That's exactly right. You can call us anytime. Yes, sir.
D&D Construction is located in Gable, just right down the road.
Right.
Will they do all 4 phases, or they gonna split that up?
We'll bid those separately. Now, depending on how it's broken, we may 2 and 3 may be bid together, or 4 may be separate as we get through the design, but it'll be it won't be a part of this contract. We'll complete this one, it'll be bid. They could get it, but it would have to be as a separate competitive bid process. So they won't necessarily get it, but they could.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Gaines? Hearing none, is there a motion to consider resolution 991 as presented?
Move for approval.
Second motion.
Hasty moves, Blas seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Record show 991 carries unanimous. Item number B, automated garbage trucks.
Mayor, members of council, this request is for an automated garbage truck, which will be the same make and model of our existing trucks. This will be truck side loader number 5 in the fleet. And this is a truck purchased through Amic Equipment, as part of the North Carolina Sheriff's Association contract pricing. Picture of it there on the board. The total price of the truck is $352,245.47. And be part of the lease purchase program that was mentioned earlier. Be glad to answer any questions you might have.
Yes, sir. Any questions for Mr. Gaines?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Michael, is this that truck with just one driver?
Correct.
One person?
That's correct.
And I sent you a note this morning, because I'm getting some complaints about the damage that truck is doing to the garbage cans.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Has that been a significant problem with that truck?
It is I won't say significant problem, it's a consistent problem.
Yeah.
So if you go back, the cans that have been purchased for years past were for a different type of process. And so as we transition to different trucks, the cans will also transition. And so, you're talking about 17,000 cans. So over time, those get, cycled through. And what we always tell is, as I mentioned to you, if there's a broken can, a damaged can, call us, we'll go and either repair it, or provide a new can, or provide a used can, depending on the situation that's at hand. But we are seeing that as a consistent problem, but over time, we'll cycle through the old carts, and eventually we'll end up with a new type of cart throughout the city.
And we don't have to pay for those replacement cans.
If you specifically request a new can, hey, it's dirty, I don't want a new can, then that's a cost. But if it's a damaged can, call in, and we'll fix it, or we'll replace it with either a used can or a new can.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else?
Mr. Gettings, I've noticed, I've had discussions with a few of my neighbors, but as we transition to this style of truck, which way do the handles?
Handles to the house.
Handles to the
Handles to the
house.
house.
And, just to let you know how serious the handles to the house is, I got home Friday afternoon last week and my can was still full. So it's handles to the house, but I noticed that it changed the pickup time in my neighborhood, and everyone seems to be really happy with it. I think getting through the route, we don't see nearly as many late pickups. They're not still picking up when we're coming home from work, so I've heard nothing but good about that. So,
We've seen a reduction in overtime, reduction in injuries. That's really been a positive thing for us.
But don't you have the big green arrow saying, point your trash can toward the street?
yes, sir.
You still
I had to retrain my boys. And last call, any questions for Mr. Gaines? We got this public hearing. Hearing none, is there a motion to consider 992 as presented? Approval. Davis moves, Gibson seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And resolution 992 carries unanimous. Mr. Gaines, we'll pick back up on you in just a few minutes. Thank you. So, 6 o'clock, This brings us up to our public hearing tonight. We have one public hearing on RZ 2507, 1445 Camden Highway. Let me read the guidelines for public hearings, which is different than public comment. So planning staff will present a request. Council members can then question staff. The applicant can then speak on behalf of the request. Council can then question the applicant. Then any city residents in favor of the request may address council. Then any city residents opposed to the request may address council. If you're a city resident or have a financial interest in this property under discussion, you may speak. Each person meeting the requirements will be given an opportunity to do so. However, should become repetitious, we reserve the right to call time. A decision may or may not be made at this meeting. However, the decision will be made at a public meeting. And once the public hearing is declared closed, there will be no additional comments from the audience unless called on by council. So with that, Ms. Rubin, RZ 2507.
Helen Richmond for planning staff. RZ 2507 is requesting brought forward by Tyler Dunlap as the authorized agent of the property owner to rezone two properties totaling approximately 1.85 acres from agricultural conservation to residential 6. For those members of council present, this is property that we just completed an annexation on at the last meeting in June. It is right at the intersection of Mina Place and Camden Highway. It's also at the entrance to Bradford Meadows subdivision. As you can see, it's zoned agricultural conservation, but to the north and east, it is zoned residential 6. This is actually got direct road frontage on the road that enters into the Bradford Meadows development, as well as frontage on Mina Place, which is a DOT road, and on Camden Highway. There is an existing single-family home on the property. My understanding is that if this is successfully rezoned, the property is going to be subdivided in a manner that puts lots both on Bradford Meadows Road and as well as Mina Place, and I believe the existing single-family home is to remain, but it is possible that it could be removed and replaced. However, if it is, those two lots will not have direct frontage on Camden Highway. So as I said, it's comprised of two separate lots. Part of that property is a formal right-of-way that was conveyed to the property owners by DOT, so it has kind of an abnormal shape. But when we look at rezoning requests, we look at what the comprehensive land use plan says. In this instance, it is a priority commercial mixed-use node, which is supportive of a variety of housing densities as well as a mix of commercial and residential development. As you're all aware, in the last 20 years, this intersection at Alice Drive and Camden Highway has seen both commercial and residential development, most significantly within the last 10 years, with the newest residential development being Bradford Meadows development. There's also been a rezoning action on that northwest corner of Alice and Camden Highway that you guys saw last year. That took that property to general commercial for future commercial development. So we do find that the desire to increase housing density on this particular tract is compatible with the comprehensive plan. So Planning Commission did recommend approval of the request. We do believe that increasing the residential density on this 1.85 acres is in line with the comprehensive plan. We do have existing infrastructure available to serve development along Barnhart Drive, which is actually the road into Bradford Meadows. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions for Ms. Rubin? Last call. Any questions? Council has any questions for Ms. Rubin? Thank you, ma'am. Hearing none, is the applicant here or representative here would like to speak on behalf of the request? Anyone that's here would like to speak on behalf of the request? You're for the applicant, are you?
I'm a resident of that neighborhood.
Okay, hang on, I'll get to you in just a second.
Okay,
Yes, sir. So, anyone
yeah.
from the applicant, so the applicant or their representative here would like to speak on behalf of the request? Seeing none, hearing none, moves us down to, any city residents in favor of the request, like to address council. Anyone in favor? Anyone in favor of the request? Last call, anyone in favor of the request, like to address council? Hearing none, anyone opposed to the request, like to address council? Anyone opposed? They'll get you and then we can come back. Yes, sir, if you'll come to the podium for us up here and name and address for the record. please.
My name's Tim Williams, I live at 5011 Lister Street, which is the first half of that loop that men are placed in Republicans. Those houses were built in the 60s as residential rentals, and now everybody there is homeowners, as far as I know. And my concern is what kind of development, what kind of structures are going to be built in this old DuBose estate. Can you tell us what they're going to build?
Ms. Rubin, I ask you to speak up.
Yeah, based on preliminary concept that we received from the applicant, the lots at front on Barn Park Drive would be just like the houses that are already in Bradford Meadows, so 2-story homes. And then the 6 lots that they're proposing on Mina Place would be what we call single-family attached units, or what historically Sumter is referred to as townhouse units, similar to what's built in Landmark Point. We don't know what the exterior finishes would be. It could be hardy plank, it could be vinyl, it could be brick, but you're talking about like 3 duplex buildings that are, each side would be independently owned.
Thank you, ma'am.
This will be owner occupied, or is it going to be rental?
The developer that I'm aware of being the applicant traditionally develops to sell. They're not traditionally in the rental market. We do not have any regulations that prohibit somebody from renting a property once it's constructed. So it could be a rental, it could be owner occupied, it could be a combination, just as with any property in the community.
I'll just be a stick in the mud. I want it to stay like it is. It's already changed. It went from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, and Mr. Howard here was raised right down the street from me and his folks. I've been there since 1978. And walked to my wedding from that house over to the Church of God. And it's just like, okay, I'm old now, I don't want things to change. And I want it to stay quiet as it can be, and it's not as it was, but I'm opposed to it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming and speaking. Yes, ma'am, you'll come, likewise, come to the podium. Name and address, please.
Hello, my name is Karen Watts. I live at 2025 Linwood Street, just down the street from Mr. Tim. So my house is just kind of corner from these properties that apparently were annexed last month. I wish we had been the option to know that that was happening prior, because that would be the first step to residents like ourselves having a little more of a voice against the zoned. There are some gorgeous trees on that property, pecan trees that are probably at least 100 years old.
Yeah.
There's some real things that I think the city needs to consider as you guys develop. I understand the land around our homes is very sought after, but if you guys could please consider how it's done. Townhouses next to our homes is not safe. You don't want apartments or townhomes there. That's not cool. We have brick homes. They should be similar to ours. If they're gonna face our neighborhood on Mina, they should really look like ours, in all fairness. They're probably gonna tear down that White House at some point. We all know this, because they can fit 3 more houses on that bit of property. You guys are gonna support it because of the tax money that's gonna come in. I understand that. But there's some leeway there where they can be really respectful to our neighborhood and leave a good line of trees, face all their houses towards Bradford. That's fine. Keep all of that way. Perhaps keep some sort of wall, make it a circle where they come in and have their little 6 or 7 houses that way. Can we please ask that? Because if we had known a month or 2 ago that this was in the works and they were paying $75,000 over asking price to get that corner lot, and then you guys were gonna annex it anyway, because we're annexed all the way around us. I saw the map last week. I understand a lot of this was in process before this hearing, and that's frustrating as a homeowner. Frankly, I'll just call it out, as a single female and older gentleman, there's several single females all on our street, older ladies, all of us are homeowners, and we want it to stay as good as it can. Those neighborhoods, those trees cannot be replaced, so be as mindful as you can. There's also gonna be sewer work, I understand, on our road, when being put in. Again, just be mindful of what they put in. It should be very respectful for the homes that are already there, who are already deeply invested in that area. I care a lot. I'm a business owner in this town. I'm in a day spa here. I have for 19 and a half years. So I care deeply about the city. I raised my daughters here and whatnot, so I'd like for it to stay as safe and as good as it can. And you guys, please keep that in mind. And if the developer can have those things in mind, that would be greatly appreciated. There are plenty of trees that they could leave a nice row to leave a buffer between Tim's home where he would look directly at these. And at some point, they're gonna come back to the woods that butt up to my house. I've tried to buy that property to buffer it, but I know at some point they're gonna try and put those homes there. So I'm begging you guys to keep that in mind, that the look of the neighborhood to represent what's already there and what's already been invested. Please.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Anyone else opposed? Yes, sir. Likewise, if you come to the podium, sir.
My name is Wayne Rogers, my wife Pamela Rogers, being audience over here. And we live at 1606 Sage, which is the next block over from there. And I echo what my neighbors have to say, because we all feel that it's a nice, quiet neighborhood. We want to keep it that way. And for the most part, we don't have a whole lot of issues going on. It's quiet, and we noticed that traffic has already picked up more than usual. And that can be a good thing at times, but sometimes it's a bad thing. You have people wandering through and picking through, and they're looking for something in particular. So we wanted to stay away.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for speaking. Anyone else opposed? Yes, sir. Podium, please, sir. Name and address.
My name is Timothy Hawkins. I reside at 1501 Leicester Street, along the block away from Mr. Tim here, across the street from Miss Karen. We've been there since about 2015 or so. The area is just wonderful to us. We all know each other. I can walk my dog. We say hello, good morning. If we see each other, we mow each other's lawn sometimes. It's very close-knit cul-de-sac. This change is a little bit altering to us because we would like it to stay just the same as it is. As Ms. Karen stated, if the houses could be built just as ours are, and you know, because we don't want any new type of hindrance. I mean, everyone is multicultural. We all love each other, know each other. We've learned from each other and have each other's backs. When we have blackouts or things of that nature, or a deer come through, we help each other. So with this new thing coming about, we just don't know if it's as great as it is, you know, for us as it is for the town.
Yes, sir. Thank you for speaking. Thank you, sir. Anyone else opposed? Anyone else opposed? Anyone out there? Yes. Anyone else out there that can't hear? Calling for opposed? Okay. Last call. Anyone opposed? Like to address council? Hearing none, I declare the public hearing closed. And would council like to take any, hey, Ms. Rubin, you got anything to add for?
No, sir, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Council have any more questions for Ms. Rubin, or would they like to take any action?
Mr. Mayor, based on the comments from the public, as we've done a few times recently, recognizing that change is coming, that's the one constant that we see. I make a motion to defer to give the applicant time to communicate with the residents and the neighbors, because that's what they will be as neighbors, to try to maintain as much harmony as possible. So just in short, I make a motion to defer action until our next meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to defer to the next meeting, which is, do we have a date? What is that date, I guess, or is that good enough? August 5th. Motion and a second to defer to August 5th. Continue to get questions answered and reach out to the neighborhood.
Just a comment, because we do have a lot of young people here, and this is the value of public and coming to meetings. I can tell you, I read this, and it was a no-brainer to me. You know, yeah, I'm gonna approve it. This is no problem. And because one, I'm pro-growth. I mean, even though I'm, you know, you don't know who's coming, but hey, I want to provide more services to my community, and the only way to provide more services to the community, more parks, this, is you gotta grow revenue, and 80% of our revenue comes from this kind of work. Of somebody buying land, increasing the tax bases, people moving in, buying businesses, buying things at local businesses, all those kind of things. So, this is what you do, but I mean, when you got 4 people for it, I can't do it. And, so that's how it should work. So thank y'all for your comments, and, hopefully you learned something about what it means to be, involved in your community.
Yes, sir. So motion and second, any other further discussion? Thank you, Mr. Councilman Shaw. Any further discussion?
Can you create a meeting between the residents and the builder, which is what we're asking now, about the next meeting, so they can hash it out and see what happens between?
I can collect their contact information and pass it along to the applicant, so that he is aware that if they need to discuss the issue. I can do that. I can't force them to come to the same meeting, but I can at least put them in contact with each other.
I would like to see them all come together, because they have a few questions that we're not able to answer. And I think the gray area there is where the problem is. So we can get that fixed, and we can come to a meeting of the minds. It might work, but, I agree with Colin there.
All right, any other, discussion? I guess on a point of note, I guess Mr. Owens or someone, like, is there a way that contact information can be gathered for those that, are having this before they leave tonight, I guess? So, thank you. So, motion and second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor to defer, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion to defer, first reading has been approved unanimous. Again, thank y'all for coming out and speaking. Thank you. All right. Welcome to stay, or anybody welcome to go that came to that portion of the meeting. We'll pick back up with Mr. Gettings on item C of procurement resolution. Oh, it's Kyle. Okay. Yep, sorry. Didn't read it. Sorry, Kyle.
Mayor, members of council, I am not Michael Gettings, I will do my best.
Didn't mean to demote you like that.
That's a big.
I'll tell you, Mike, just hold tight, Kyle, let these folks want to leave. Just, you know. Yes, sir, Mr. Kyle Kelly, resolution 933.
All right, Mr. Mayor, members of council, resolution number 993 is a resolution to authorize an agreement with the South Carolina Department of Transportation for the Sumter, what we're calling the Uptown/Folsom Park Sidewalk Connectivity Project. This is a TAP grant, which is TAP stands for the Transportation Alternatives Program. It's a federal program that provides 80% of funding for multimodal transportation projects. Now, it's another way of generally saying sidewalk, bicycle, and non-motorized improvements. And so this project is a proposed 3.68 miles of sidewalk in the area around Sumter Mall. The streets involved are Rask Street, Gertrude Drive, Wise Drive, Eon Street, and East-West Market Boulevard. So that is the area of focus. And the grant provided by the state and federal level is for a total of $900,000 to be matched with $100,000 of local funds for phase 1 of that project, which is the state has committed to funding this project in a 2-phase structure. Phase 1 is going to take care of engineering, design, and a portion of construction, and allows the state to be able to float the money so that they don't encumber a significant amount of money while design work has to be undertaken. So with that, we present that resolution for approval. The only other note I would make is several of these sidewalk segments are on the list that was in the 2024 Penny for Progress referendum. So this is part of the promise made to Sumter County voters to secure other sources of funding to support those initiatives. So this is a $9 to $1 outside dollars to local dollars for this project.
9 outside dollars to the 1 local dollar.
Right, $900,000 of state and federal money, the federal portion's $800,000, the state agreed, based on, Sumter's, standing within the counties of South Carolina to defray the normally 20% required match, and is covering 10% of that number, leaving, Sumter with a 10% local match.
Thanks, sir. Any questions, Mr. Kelly? Yes, sir. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yeah, Ted, I wanted to ask, would there be any consideration coming down the pipe of these streets and loads of moderate income? Because I heard the streets you named, none of those streets are low to moderate income.
Yes, sir. So, the area of this project is an area that according to the best data we have available, contains, it's a commercial and residential area, but we have, several other neighborhoods, kind of circling around the historic core of the city that are likewise need sidewalk connectivity improvements. And so this is kind of swing number 1 at the plate, and as this project goes into further stages of completion, we'll be able to take more swings at the plate.
Any other questions, Mr. Kelly? Yes, sir. Last call, anything? Hearing none, is there a motion to consider resolution 993 as presented?
Make motion approved.
Second. Sean moves, Davis seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And resolution 993 carries unanimous. Thank you, sir. 994, is that you as well?
That is also me in my faux Michael Giddings, guys. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, members of council, resolution number 994 is a resolution to authorize a contract for professional services for the city and the Sumter area's Safe Streets and Roads for All project. Safe Streets and Roads for All is an initiative, a nationwide initiative from the U.S. Department of Transportation that has provided grant resources. In Sumter's case, it's a $400,000 federal grant matched with $100,000 of local in-kind and cash resources to develop a Safe Streets and Roads for All action plan, which is a safety action plan that is community specific, as well as to conduct what are called demonstration activities, which are different forms of quick build and short-term projects that can be implemented to demonstrate the effectiveness of a particular safety initiative. And so we received funding to both hire a nationally recognized consultant to help us develop that action plan, crunch the data, conduct public hearings and public meetings, engage with stakeholders, as well as to design and implement for us up to 10 of those demonstration projects around the community, as well as identify long-term improvements that can be implemented with other sources of funding, including the Penny for Progress initiative that sets funding aside. So this is a contract to engage Stantec Consulting Services, and the contract amount is just $268,240 with a completion date of April 30th, 2027. We had a large number of applicants for this funding, with submissions through a competitive procurement process, and Stantec was determined to be the most qualified of those vendors.
Yes, sir. Any questions, Mr. Kelly? Hearing none, thank you, sir. Is there a motion to consider 994 as presented?
I'll make a motion.
Sean moves. Second. Davis seconds, that we consider 994 as presented. Any further discussion?
I do think it's worth pointing out, I think that, we got this, nice brochure that's explaining what they're doing, and had some in there what they've done in Greenville, and, just recognizing as, Reverend Blassingame kind of pointed out, about roads in certain low and moderate income, but roads, we've all been concerned about fatalities on certain roads, and that's what this study is about. And I think it's a very worthwhile study, and I think in Greenville they found that like 80% of the fatalities and serious accidents were on just 15 roads, and they addressed those 15 roads. So it's a great study and something to really move the community forward.
Thanks, sir. Anyone else? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And resolution 994 carries unanimous. Thank you, sir. Section 2, item 9, council reports. Receive comments from council members concerning matters interested in the council, the city as a whole. Community, council, anything they'd like to share? Joe?
I guess it's my time to talk a lot today. I don't usually do this, but I want you to know the last 4 votes, we spent $3 million. Now, you young people, that is a lot of money. 500,000 of that came from your community, from your taxes collected in this community. So we got pretty good leverage on that from other things. 2.5 million came from sources outside the city. I saw Ms. McKinney smile as big as I've ever seen her smile when we approved that $1.4 million for the drainage in the Crosby. And I am very happy to vote for that. But we need to, your city is at work. We're trying to get things done. A lot of times to get money from other sources, it takes a lot of time and I commend our staff on, we got $3 million worth of work and it cost our community $500,000. And on one project, we put up 100 and we got 900,000 from the government. So it's things like that that don't get told in Facebook and in the news. But we're working on those and your city's at work. And I commend the staff for putting things together and working so that we can get some of the funds that are available out there if we just really press for them. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And while I'm talking,
Preach.
I want to just commend also our police chief. I understand he called me this week. There was a shooting, I think, at Walker and Kent Street. He called me and knew that I'm very involved with the charter school here with Livingston Charter School. Wanted to know about putting a camera there so he could get Walker, Kent, and get on 3rd Street. Sampson would be one more over, I believe. But of course, the charter school. I talked to the chairman of the board. Yeah, by all means, we'll be glad to support them. We'll do whatever we need to help that situation. And so they're working. I think, Chief, we're held up a little bit about power, how to get power to it, because they would put it at the far corner of Livingston Charter School. They have to either run power under the road to get it out there, or the telephone pole that you're working, I think, with Duke Power, try to get power just brought straight down to it and get that camera up, keep the area safe. Isn't that right?
Yeah, thank you, sir. So actually, we're doing, based on a request from the city manager at Reverend Blassingame, at the Kent Walker area, we're putting a flock camera up at that location. We're putting a statewide security camera. I'm sure members of the audience assume they're white cameras with blue lights on them. They got cameras near Gaston and Kent Street. As we get all the way down to School Street, back to Kent Walker, we also get a flock camera, which is another camera that you've seen on the side of the road. It's got a solar panel, it's got a black pole, so there'll be an actual camera at that intersection. But another camera to catch that entire roadway, that roadbed on 2 different intersections. And additionally, based on some requests from Reverend Blassingame, we put a portable camera at Miller and Sampson Street, which is the next block over. Okay? So that's gonna cover about a 6 square block area of ingress and egress for the cameras at the plazas. And we are waiting on power. We're kind of held on Duke Power, so we can tap into the power of the school and actually run that camera.
Thank you. And
I wanted to just piggyback on what Councilman Shaw has said, what the chief said. I was privileged to attend the monthly meeting of the West End Community Neighborhood Association last Monday, to be exact. And there's one of the questions that came up. They were very concerned about the shooting in the area and not getting the cameras. And so what I did, I called city manager that stayed and get the wheels turning. So thank you, Chief, for being on top of that. And I know some of them are here tonight, and I hope y'all got the information. It's gonna happen. Just gonna take some time. Some other things that came out of the meeting was the need for a traffic light on the corner of Bartlett and Gilliard. I think I also reported that to the city manager. And there's some concern about overgrown lot on Charles Street. So I do want to thank the staff for all that you do at helping our community improve the quality of life. A lot of work to be done, but we're working together. And I thank the citizens from West End. Mr. Ivey could not be here tonight because he has an emergency meeting in Orangeburg. But several of them are here tonight. Also want to commend the staff for the progress being made on the Jenkins Center Park. I think Mr. Getty told me about mid-August, that park will be opening. It really looks good over there, so that's another plus for West End. Just wanted to put that out there. Oh, and also on Sunday, I had the opportunity to represent the mayor at Shabbat Ministries. Pastor Tia Penny, Reverend Dr. Tia Penny, celebrated 25 years. She's one of the outstanding pastors in this community, so the mayor had a proclamation for me to present to her. She was very, very excited. I got it read it. The congregation was excited for her. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Coming out alive?
Man.
Coming out alive, thanks you guys.
Yeah, Mayor and Councilman Hastings, three of us were at the South Carolina Baptist Congress of Christian Education Welcome Night, Sunday night at Trinity Missionary Baptist Church. The mayor brought greetings on behalf of the city, did an outstanding job. And you all will be pleased to know that he said we got 7 members on city council, and all of us are believers. Amen. Everybody was excited to hear that.
Just, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you covering me for that proclamation, so I can be there all the time. Mayor Pro Tem, I told them they all, I guess we spoke last year, to Hasty, I did the same thing, brought greetings. This is the 118th annual South Carolina Baptist Congress of Christian Education, and I saw the people, and I always said it's good to see folks, you know, from the mayor's office or city council. It means heads in beds and butts in seats in restaurants. So we appreciate them coming to the community, to our community. So thank you, sir.
Don't get my flush and commode.
Well, yeah, I always tell them they got to flush it. We sell water, so you have to flush the commode a little extra while they're here at the motel.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, we started on neighborhood associations already. How important they are. If we want to get something done, as Councilman Gibbons said, we need to be organized. And I'm so proud to recognize, we talked about West End already, members are here, but also we have some from the South Sumter Neighborhood Association. They are having their meeting, I guess I should, we are having our meeting on Monday, the 21st at 6 o'clock at the Resource Center. We try to have a guest every month. This year, this month, the guest will be Glenn Butt. So we are going to be happy to talk with him. We also had the chief out there talking to the folks in the business, because how many times do you get to talk to the chief of police if you're not being locked up? So he comes out there and he freely talks to all of us, and we want the folks to know who the chief is and what he stands for. So all the members of the South Sumter Neighborhood Association, please stand. This is big numbers tonight, but you can get up. We thank all of you all for coming, being here. and share your ideas, and we will listen to you. We have another association that's very, very active, Crossville Association. They're here tonight. I see y'all know, but any other member of the Crossville Association, please stand. Let's recognize Crossville. Because we thank God for all of you all that are here. Thank you all for coming. Of course, we got Church of Creek. We encourage every community to have a neighborhood association. Because most of us have the same problems. So when we come to the council meeting, we can speak with one voice. So it's so important to have a neighborhood association. Please join your neighborhood association. If you don't have one, create one. We'll help you create, because we have a lot of them with bylaws and things in place already. I want to mention about the gymnasium. I want to be clear that the gymnasium and the programs in the gym are completely separate. Okay? The gymnasium every Thursday at 5:30. We have people out there teaching golf to the kids, chess to the kids. We do have pickleball. Pickleball is a lot of fun. There are a lot of seniors out there playing pickleball, so come on out and play pickleball with us. And we're going to start back to softball, and we're going to partner with Amy James, and we're going to talk about her program after a while. We got a lot of things going on in these communities. We just need your support. Come on out and support what we got going on in your backyard. Can't thank the city enough for what they're doing with that gymnasium, children's park. I think the water pad is being maybe developed as we speak, surrounding it. So we got a walking trail. So get up in the mornings and go for a walk. Please, go for a walk. We have a beautiful walking trail out there now. So let's go out there and walk, and let's take this up. And I want to thank the city once again for what they have continued to push in this city. I want to say again, when I saw Amy James' teams, they partnered with the chief, with the sheriff department, city police department, for that tournament we had in the art park. There were so many children out there. They were having a great time playing basketball, and it's also a Christian-based program. It's just not like they're playing basketball. It's a Christian-based program, and she didn't speak on that a little later on. Being a part of a neighborhood association is so critical to the success of Sumter. Can I get an amen? Amen. Don't sound like you. Can I get an amen?
Amen. All right, thank you, sir.
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I would be remiss if I did not mention that Chief Rod will be attending the meeting of the West End Neighborhood Association next Monday. Well, August 4th. So you're going to address a lot of these concerns that I have about crime and stuff. So thank you, Chief, in advance for taking time to come.
Thank you, sir. I keep it brief, but we do want to celebrate, acknowledge, and wish the best to Councilman Bishop Gibson. Had a milestone this past week, so I was kind of sorry, Monday got a celebration this past weekend, so we were able to celebrate him and jab at him a little bit as he makes that transition to over the hill. Famous will be next coming up sometime. So anyway, anything on this end, guys?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to share an update from the June SUATS meeting. And I know we talked about it in the past, but SUATS is a committee made up of City Council, County Council, our state legislative delegation, and a few members of the community that are appointed. And the responsibility that SUATS has is to direct the use of state funding in local transportation projects. And there are a few here to start. You can see on the screen there, kind of a synopsis of what that committee manages, but the numbers you see on the right are budgets. And I'll take a moment and touch on a few things, some places that we will see and feel where that money is spent. One thing that we that we hear about from time to time, and this is a nearly completed project that was funded with CS money, is the Red Bay Bridge was scheduled to have been opened July 1st and is running a little behind schedule because of some damage to a telecommunications line that had to be worked out. But our update from DOT now says that they expect to have that open by the end of the month, barring no other mishaps. One big thing that we've talked about a number of times, on May the 28th, DOT put out for bid the Manning Avenue Bridge replacement project. The bid was awarded to United Infrastructure Group, and if you saw in the news a few weeks ago, there was an accident on Interstate 20 that resulted in a bridge being torn down, and it was taken down almost overnight to keep traffic flowing. That's the company that won the bid for the bridge replacement. Details of the contract at this point are a little light. We know that the scheduled completion date is the end of May 2028. Currently, the contractor is in the scheduled development phase and beginning to secure their preliminary permits, but just be on the lookout for work to begin. I think at least the last 4 years, it has been a conversation that has been ongoing nearly every council meeting, and it's been a long way, but we're here, and we're excited to see it. In conjunction with that, we've discussed improvements to the North Main and the Manning Avenue corridors. That project, or those two projects, are scheduled to be bid in the November 2025 packet that the Department of Transportation will release. So I will bring updates on those projects, when to expect to see them started and when to anticipate completion as we develop those details. But know that government oftentimes moves slow, and that's by design, and that's so that we have time to account for the opinions, the impacts, the contingencies, the other things that are sometimes difficult to anticipate. But don't lose hope. These things are coming. Some other things that we will see in the near future, it's identified as Robert Dinkins at Broad, and to most of us, that would be the stretch of Broad Street in front of Lowe's and approaching Walmart. That's one of the most dangerous or highest traffic incidents intersections in the state, and it's difficult. I grew up here, and I dare say if you didn't grow up here and really know what to expect as you come off the bypass or try to get on the bypass, it's kind of a foreign concept. So we've got some state funding that we will begin to use there to improve that with some half signals and some other things. And I'm not a traffic engineer, so I'm not going to attempt. But just know that in the near future, you will see work begin there to begin improving that. And then as we move a little farther out into the county, the Army Gate, as we would know it at Shaw, there are improvements scheduled to help traffic in and out of the base, on and off of St. Paul Church Road, improvements in the right turn lane to help those folks get to work in the morning, and a little redesign of the intersection there coming from St. Paul Church Road to Broad Street to make it easier to turn right specifically. And then again, going into Wintergreen subdivision, some readjustments there to make that a little more travel friendly. But big things to come. I know we've been waiting a long time, but I would encourage you to just be patient, and we're excited to see what is starting now.
Thank you, sir. Anything else? Nothing? Councilman McKinney? Nothing? Thank you all for all those updates. That's good. So it takes us to our city manager report. Mr. McCormick?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, members of council, just a couple of quick things. Mayor, as you alluded to, Councilman Gibson's birthday is on the 21st, and Councilman Davis's was on the 10th. So since our last meeting, we had a couple of birthdays there. Also, since the last meeting, something we're able to do that we've talked with council about. As you know, cities try to help the school district by helping with some of the basketball goals, just like our park. So we had good pricing on that, working with the superintendent. making sure we coordinate, trying to get as much done before the kids come back to school. I'm happy to report Croswell, of course, was the first school we worked with last year. I mean, not too long ago, Willow, but just in since our last meeting, Wilder and Millwood have been replaced. So here's some of the old ones, and this is what they look like now. So as people in the school received a call today from one of the gentlemen over the different facilities, and said, please pass along the thank you. It means a lot to them. So I hope the kids will be excited. We'll look for, we've got a couple other opportunities we'll look for in the near future to try to partner with.
Thank you, sir.
And only one other thing, again, since last meeting, a lot's been going on in July. USTA has actually asked the tennis center here in August, so just next month, to host a professional men's tournament. So let me tell you the gravity of this. So these are the top 10 men's professional players are already in the U.S. Open. That'll be in New York here shortly in a couple months. So there's 2 tournaments in the world, one in Mexico and the other will be in Sumter, South Carolina, August 11th through 17th to get to 11th. So the top 10 are already in, so this will be the 11th through whatever number trying to buy to get in the U.S. Open. So real big honor. They said we know this is a lot, know it's a lot soon. Obviously there's a lot of funding coming from different agencies to come help. But it says a lot about our team, the expanded team that we're willing to take this on. So it'll be quite a ride between now and August 17th, but we'll keep council updated. And again, for the public, it's pretty neat people you're going to watch on TV, literally in Sumter on our course.
That's great news. Thanks for sharing that. Anything else? All right. Brings for comments of our citizens time. That one. Public comments reached a point of the agenda for comments by our citizens. Consistent with our city code, it's an opportunity for citizens of the city who have signed up prior to the beginning of the meeting to address council on city matters with the exception of personnel matters. In the interest of time, comments by any one speaker limited to more than 3 minutes. To avoid repetition and conserve time, if there's a group of citizens, such as a neighborhood group or citizens committee, who wish to express the same viewpoint or advocate for the same position, we actually designate 1 or 2 to speak on behalf of the entire group. In addition to this portion of the agenda, we want to emphasize that citizens and those who are not citizens can express their opinions to council using telephone, email, and other avenues on the city website. It's not intended for a question and answer session with the council or the city manager. It's just an opportunity for us to hear from our citizens. We appreciate all those that signed up tonight. We know a lot of you, but this protocol is when you call, please come to the podium and ask, state your name and address, please. We'll start with Ms. Ruth McKinney. Ms. McKinney?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ruth McKinney. I'm from the Croswell neighborhood. I live at 412 Sanders Drive, and I always come a little early, and I didn't know that many people from Croswell were sitting back there, but I'm so glad that everyone is here. First of all, I just want to say thank you to the stormwater improvement from Croswell has now been actually put into play. I had written some notes about it some time ago, and Mr. McCormick, I remember your saying that company that was really in our backyard and surveying where the blockage was. So I'm excited to know that there's something being done about it, especially with the weather that has been seen all across the country, the flooding, and I hope we don't have a 1,000-year flood anytime soon until those drains get repaired. But I do want to address the side-loading trucks, but more so the trash receptacles that have been damaged. You know, I look at my neighbors, the different people down the street, they have old trash cans. And I saw the driver get out. He took a lid that had come off, put another one on, it was so much worse. It doesn't close, they dropped mine, broken the wheel, the tire, or one of the tires. I said, I'm gonna wait till it fall apart because I can get a new one then. Number one, because, I've gone to Georgia, different places, Colorado, and with those new green dog trash cans, when that truck grabs them, it must be the right size, and I haven't seen anything damaged in any of those. So I'm hoping and praying that the city will make the decision to replace all of those old trash cans because, number one, they've been sun bleached, they crack very easily, they old, the bottom of mine is almost out. I try to put something down there. So either way, I hope you'll make the decision to give everyone a new trash can, not waste your time trying to fix it. Because they're not gonna last. I'm through.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Dr. Prescott. Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, City Councilman, City staff, Police Chief, thank you for the opportunity to speak again. I came before you about two years plus and told you that Services of Hope was opening an office in Sumter, South Carolina. We are a faith-based nonprofit that has 3 tiers: wraparound social services, wraparound financial services, wraparound workforce development. And we said that we were bringing economic development. I want to give a report to you. We have an annual budget here in Sumter of $350,000. We employ 2.5 employees here. We are the funder with Councilman Hastings there of the South Sumter Farmers Market. We have funded those food boxes that you see coming out every other Friday. We provide food drives, we provide internships, we provide first-time home buyer counseling. We are funded here by Truist Bank, South State Bank, the Credit Union, and various other organizations. And what's the key point? You talked about flushing toilets, heads in beds, you talked about those. What I'm talking about, we made a commitment to the city. We lived up and beyond that commitment. We asked 3 times for the city to support us through CBD dollars. You denied us. I wrote letters to each one of you. You never responded to us. You can't ask me for my commitment. I'm doing all this on my dollars, and the city does not want to participate. I'm flushing the toilets at our office, at my house. I'm putting seats in restaurants. I'm collecting food, discarded food from restaurants, and then repurposing it to the homeless. I'm helping senior citizens have dollars available to pay for prescriptions. If Councilman Hastings was not partnering with us to come to the South Sumter Farmers Market is now recognized by the state of South Carolina as the 3rd farmers market in Sumter. We did that. I was selected as the nonprofit executive of the year by the state of South Carolina. Again, that means that I'm doing some kind of work, our organization is doing some kind of work. I wish the city would stay true to what you're saying about economic development, all these other great things that we're hearing today, and say, okay, you're not an outsider anymore. You have kept your word. You've gone beyond your word. We now are going to come into partnership. $350,000, 3 years in a row, and not a city penny. And we are feeding families, and we're going to now extend that beyond that. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilman. Thank you, staff. Thank you all for this time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We got, Ms. Chandler. Where are you? Back there. There you are.
Good evening. I didn't come to fuss. Mr. Mayor, Council, I came here to represent the South Sumter Neighborhood Beautification Association. Is that enough name for you? We at our neighborhood association would like to show our appreciation to Team Sumter and our council and mayor for the beautiful, beautiful revitalization, well, rebuilt Southside Park. If you have not been to it, you need to come see it. We do have the bragging rights of saying that this is only the second park in Sumter that has an air-nasium. And that air-nasium is great because, as Councilman Hastings was saying, on Thursdays when we're having family fun day, if it's too hot, we can get almost every activity under that air-nasium, and everybody has space. You play pickleballs, the golf pro has some kids over there, and us old folks, we be over there playing pickleball. And we have a gentleman that comes and plays chess. And quite a few of the kids and adults in the community, they come and they're getting into chess. So we just want to say thank you. So many people tend to give the South Side a negative review, not knowing anything about the South Side. But South Sumter is a proud place. And I'm proud to be from South Sumter. You know, people don't know, but Mary McLeod Bethune used to stay over on Harvard Street when she would come to Sumter. The house is still standing, albeit it's leaning, but it's still standing. But that has been purchased by a group and is going to be redone. There's a lot of pride and history on the South Side. Our focus this year would be teaching the pride and the history that's on the South Side of Sumter, because we got a lot of it. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's correct. Council, just to continue to brag on us, Ms. China's second air-nasium in the state.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Right, that's right. So, coolest park in town. What we got here? Ms. Heather Sanford. Ms. Sanford. Podium, please, name and address.
Good evening, I'm Heather Stanford. I live at 206 Crescent Ave. My husband spoke last meeting, and luckily that tree is gone. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I am here as not only a mother, but also a behavioral technician and an advocate. Tonight, I come to you to be a voice for the children in our school district. I have reached out to 2 members via email with no response or excuses. So here, I am speaking to everybody out of deep concern for the students in our community. This past year, we witnessed an alarming amount of faculty arrests, while laws that were broken by other faculty were swept under the rug. From assaults, harassment, retaliation, intimidation, and bullying, all on a special needs student by members of the administration left uninvestigated and ignored, all the way up to the school board level. What is more concerning is that I informed the superintendent and the school board that the biggest perpetrator of those illegal and socially unacceptable behaviors has mental health issues that he's not managing. I'm not one to go up to someone for mental health. As an advocate, I help people. However, he has PTSD from an altercation with a previous student, and he's being triggered and acting out without being mindful at the extent of the student. There is a article that I printed off where he is quoted, and it talks about the altercation. I provided that to 20 teachers. I got an unbiased opinion back. None of those 20 teachers wanted him working with their students or in their own educational setting. Investigation reports were forged by the principal and provided to me to be fact. Luckily, I have audio recordings that prove those were never done, and when I told her I had those, she kicked me out of the building. The students in our community deserve to go to school and feel safe and supported. There are too many social issues that are affecting them in their home life. They don't deserve good school. Especially since those adults are supposed to be trusted and not lend to the dysfunction. Our schools are getting bombarded with behaviors that are socially unacceptable, and those students are held accountable. But when adults display those behaviors, it's swept under the rug. No student should feel anxious going to school out of fear of how they would be mistreated that day, what is gonna be falsely spread about them, impacting their relationships. My diabetic was declared a self-monitoring student by the school. He was seeing 16% of the scheduled visits in his IEP, lending to a high A1C, putting off required surgery. This is all the evidence I've collected thus far on medical neglect and IEP violations. The Department of Education has also declared their neglect. Sumter historically has more lawsuits than any local school district, and I have the data and graphs for you guys. Sumter has 84 lawsuits. Richland County, 66. We're smaller than Richland County. We should have more lawsuits historically. Florence, 13%. I have contacted numerous agencies and anybody that I can think of to try and help these children. I'm doing it alone. I need help, and I really hope that you guys are going to assist me in this matter. Thank you. I'm going to pass around. These are the graphs, school districts, the lawsuits, why,
Thank you, ma'am.
and all that.
The city, yes, ma'am, just hand it to the city manager, who'll get that dispersed. Thank you, Ms. Sanford, for coming and speaking and bringing that to our attention.
Thank you. No, it's just when I was speaking, because I got memory issues.
Thank you. Ms. Kia Smith. Ms. Smith? Will you please stand and name and address?
Oh, no, we're fine.
I'm gonna pretend not to be nervous. Y'all let me know if I do a good job, okay?
Girl, deep breaths.
So I am Kia Smith, 707 Bolton Drive. I'm a business owner, teacher, and native of the Southside Gym. I saw that the beautification process talked about the aeronasium, but I remember when I was a little girl, burning my behind on that really, really tall slide and rolling off the big hill across the street from my grandma's house. But I have been appointed to speak on our people today. This is in reference of the Southside Gym. I saw that Coach Allen was here earlier. I'm speaking very well about the gym, but we have some questions. Our Southside Gym, and I say our Southside Gym because that is what birthed us. That was a safe haven for a lot of us growing up in the area. Sorry, I lost my place. I'm sorry. So the questions we have are the following, although some of these have already been answered. Is there a current board of persons in charge of the Southside Gym in which the public, we, might speak with in order to provide input on the programs that are offered? We heard a lot about some of the programs, and I did do some very brief research, and I didn't see that stuff publicized that she spoke about earlier today. We, the community, would like to know the percentage and dollar amount that is and has been allocated for the 2024 and 2025 Pennies for Progress. Where does Southside Gym fall on the current Pennies for Progress project list? And where does said project fall as it relates to public safety, quality of life, and economic development as stated on your website? What is the projected end date? Sorry to say it like that. But what is the projected end date of Coach Allen's contract with the Southside Gym? I have been told, and like I said, I'm working with the public, and there are some things that we would like to see done. We feel like it was pulled from under us, and we would love to see that put back in the community, and some of the things that we really, really need as someone who grew up in the area. Like I said, I'm also a teacher, so I teach a lot of the students that grew up in that area as well, and I'm seeing a huge disconnect. I'm also in the running for Teacher of the Year for the district, and one of the things that I stand on is community involvement, so I'm very proud to be standing here with you guys today. Lastly, we can only assume that the public taxpayers are the ones funding the gym, assuming. Are the ins and outs of the spending available for public viewing, if it is? We only hope to have more transparency moving forward, especially as it refers to our gym. Not only myself, but the voices and signatures of almost 300 people here in my hand have used this space for help, solace, and comfort. We thank you, City Council, for your time. We look forward to your answers and the opportunity to continue to work with you on upcoming projects, especially as it refers to Southside Channel.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you have those questions to leave for the city manager, or can they be emailed, or?
Do you have a card? I would love to email it.
We get that, so, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Make sure. Amy James, is that correct? Yeah. Coach James? Yeah. What is it? One that we- Yeah, that'll be fine.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Amy James. I'm a local resident here in Sumter, South Carolina. And our program is basically about outdoors, going to different parks and doing different organizations, doing different things for the kids. Right now, we're partnering with Calvin Hasty. We're partnering with the chief as well. We bring talent from the outside of the city into inside the city to get these kids familiar with different things that we do. We not only do this basketball, we do STEAM programs and other things like that too. I got my partner Ernest here. I'm a little nervous talking in front of everybody, so he's a better speaker. And he's gonna show us exactly. But right now we have 300 kids in our program, and it's growing. So partnering up with Calvin Hasty, chief, and other community people in the city will be a great help and resource. But I'm letting him talk a little bit more better because I'm actually a one-on-one person in the group. I get nervous and all over the place.
I don't know why she put me on the spot like that. I'm no better, but I'm the executive director of Ballers World Global Foundation. We empower the underserved youth with sports being the catalyst for positive change. And we want to again thank you guys, thank the city of Sumter for the revitalization of South Sumter Park. And between everyone here, I believe that everyone here has shown that there's a need for South Sumter Park to be at its maximum potential. And that's what we want to do at Ballers World Global Foundation. We're more so interested in the outside portion. We want to bring different programs. Amy has a ton of kids, like she said. And we want to bring programs. We want to have different events that will showcase Sumter. We want to have Sumter Field Day. We want to have a Unity festival, which would actually be all sports. So we would have all sports going on at the same time, and we bring that to Sumter. So there's a lot of stuff that we want to do pertaining to that park, and we would love to speak with the young lady that was speaking earlier too. But we think it's a team effort. We would love to partner with whoever else is in there, and we can get it going.
And also specialize, we also do other cultural events too, like we're having a Latino Day that's coming up. There's certain things that we do too. We appreciate y'all time, and you also reach me at Amy James on Facebook, or you can contact me at 803-406-2066. Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming. Appreciate what y'all are doing to help.
I didn't think Ms. James was going to be able to make it because we just had the funeral service up front on Saturday at Saturday. I'm glad to see her here.
Thank you. And we've got Mr. Mike Bradley. Mr. Bradley.
Thank y'all for this opportunity. My name is Mike Bradley, 147 Lincoln Avenue. I addressed an issue several months ago about the trash dumping between Maxwell and Huck Street. And we want to thank y'all for what you've done for us cleaning it up. It was a lot of gunfire. We haven't heard that since. It was nighttime, daytime, the dumping is ceased. But there's some dumping that's been done over there behind, I want to say Family Dollar, Dollar General, and the U-Haul place. And it's been there for several months and hasn't been picked up. But we wanna thank you for what you have done. Now, piggybacking off of, what Gwen and some of them said about the Southside Gym, we're very proud and pleased with what you've done and what's being done. And we wanna thank Mr. Casey for his input, but going out this way, and let me be a part of what they're trying to do, trying to get done. It's an ongoing process, but we are very pleased with the progress. And, I'm a little nervous myself now. But one thing I like the growth because, they're not pleased with everything that be done, but they know this can be better, and they're working to do that. And I'm glad, like I said, to be a glad part of that. And I want to thank Coach Allen, because I met her before they even did their nation, because she was out there with the South Bowl, and some of the other things I was out there, which I've been a part of that ever since Mr. Casey was getting this done. And I liked her skill set with some of the things, the time she put in with the kids, and the way she showed and know what she was doing. I was very impressed. And I don't think she's just an asset, she's a blessing. And I want to thank her for this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That brings us to the end of the list. We appreciate everyone coming. Big meeting, big crowd. We appreciate y'all being involved in our community.
You signed it? Yes, sir, I did. I talked to you earlier today, sir. Change that.
So what you got?
This did you sign it? I signed the one right off there.
Did you sign the one that went?
It's coming. That was what I needed to sign.
Yes, you probably signed the other.
I signed the wrong.
Yes, sir, if you don't mind. Okay. All the council said, with the confusion, yes, sir, if you'll come. You're a resident of the city?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yep, appreciate it. Sorry for the confusion.
My apologies, you had the wrong thing.
That's okay.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Pro Tem, thank you, sir. My optimism was boosted about 100%. When you called me back, same thing. I'm not used to that kind of. My name is James Evans. I live at 2044 Columbia Circle. I'm a disabled American veteran, and I'm also a retired builder. I'm not sure if this is the day that we could fly me to bring this up. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this in this kind of environment, but on the 23rd of May, I noticed somebody putting up a roof with no permit showing, and so we went and asked them down at the city, is there a permit? Well, they told me I had to fill out this piece of paper right here, the Freedom of Information Act. So, well, it's not being built, and I don't think they have a permit. We had to fill this out. Well, by the time we filled it out and sent it through a second time, since we couldn't find the first one, the roof was done. When we got the answer back, they said, yeah, there was no permit pulled. I would have spoken to him today. He says, well, it's already up. There's nothing we can do about it. I used to get very angry when I would see people stealing my work as a licensed contractor by doing shoddy work under the table without a permit, and it ruins our neighborhoods, and it takes money from the city for the applications and, the fees for the permits, the inspections, and even the taxes for the city and county. Not to mention that they bring in, I went over there and talked to them. It was 4 Guatemalans and 1 Mexican, and not one of them was legal. The reason why I know this is because if I'm Mexicano de Arizona, I speak Spanish and I can understand the dialects. And these people are stealing our work. They're taking the money from our city, and they're putting up shoddy work, which is, not good for the aesthetics of our neighborhood. And I thought that might bring it to your attention, sir. That's all I have.
No, thank you for bringing that to our attention. We've got staff taking notes on that, so we'll look into that. We appreciate it.
Any questions you have, I'd be more than welcome. If we find somebody where I'm from, we found somebody that had put up work that required a permit and it was already done after the fact,
This gentleman said there's nothing I can do. You're sitting right there where all the permits are issued. This house was built in 1959. If there's no, and it's got a brand new roof, if there's no permits pulled in the last 60 years, they get some illegal roof work. It's not that hard to figure out. I thank you for your.
No, thank you for bringing that to you. Sorry for that confusion again on the signage.
That's what you said. Thank you.
I'm from the city also, I think I signed the wrong.
Councilman Favorite, she says the same thing, Councilman, yes, ma'am. She said this, city resident, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Name and address, please.
Mayor, Councilman, I'm Deborah Burke from 4670 Cotton Acres Road. It's beautiful, this is actually my first.
Man, Cotton Acres is in the county, that's not in the city limits. This is a comment time for folks that live in the city limits.
Okay, on the city.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's what I wanted to address.
Okay.
It's a lot of things great happening in the city.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's the raw areas that's being affected.
Yes, ma'am, so we connect you with the county council member that can help you with that, so, thank you, ma'am. All right, anyone else? Looks like we've got everybody. Race to end our agenda, we do need a brief, executive session. Yeah, it's a miracle tonight. As put on the screen, discuss contractual matters, board reports, legal advice, business license, quarterly. So is there a motion to go into executive session for the state purpose? A motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? We're in executive session, we'll step us back. Second. Have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. We're in open session. No action to be taken, the information only executive session brings us into our agenda. There's a motion to adjourn. Kenny moves, Shaw seconds, all in favor say aye. Aye. We stand adjourned.